What are these guys going to do?
Well, remember, Tabs used to be an ex-mid lane champion, high mechanic skill. We'll see if it works out for him in this matchup. So, bans coming through. There is the Nidalee ban. First ban out. Freddy not going to get his hands on that one. Oriana taken away from Jez, has taken him out of his comfort zone. And SK Gaming very much focusing on the mid lane man, Froggen, Kassadin, and Twisted Fate.
So, Maokai's still up. Alistair's still up. Syndra's available. Ahri is still available for Jez's. And I was praising his Ahri play during the end of the regular weeks, but I was a little less impressed over the quarterfinals. So we need to see what route Jez is going to go, and there's the 80 carry ban you were talking about.
Yeah, that to me signals that I think is going to be a Tristana first pick. But if Maokai's open, it's going to throw Alliance a curveball, I think, for this pick and ban.
I completely agree. Maokai or Tristana, if you leave both of them up, you have the option of taking one away, but SK Gaming have not decided to do that. We've seen first pick Nami's coming out of some of the other teams, which caught Deficio off guard earlier today, and Nami's definitely risen in prominence along with Morgana in that support role. A lot of time left on the clock, but Wicked's thinking about it.
Yeah, this is a consideration. It could be for Nif as well, but it seems that it will be Wicked that will lock in the cow. We'll see if he plays that in the top lane. We'll see if he picked it up, of course. We saw a lot of that in the last match. Xaxus himself played it very well in the quarterfinals and in the last match against Fnatic.
So, just to put some thoughts on the table, Morgana's available, Zillion's available. These are champions that SK ran in the quarterfinals. Elise, if they want to go that route. Tristana, if they want to deny that from Tabs. There are a lot of potential picks for SK, and the question is, what are they most comfortable running? Because we're still not 100% sure where this Alistair will go. Alliance not being seen on the competitive stage in this patch, they have that versatility in their pick to decide where they want to put it.
Well, looks like Freddy will fall back on Aatrox. It's currently hovered over. Has worked very well in the semi-final series, and it seems they're going to leave the 80 carry open. They want Svenskeren to be covered off. He is a big part of this team. His ganks generally set the pace for SK Gaming. And predominantly throughout the whole season, SK have been slower in the lane phase. They've been weaker in the early lane. It's late game they get going. It's why we kind of call them the mini Alliance, because Alliance do the same, except they do well in lane phase.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a fair assessment. But I think it's also important to note that against Millennium in the quarterfinals, SK stepped up. They were winning the laning phase. They were, taking control, not dominating.
Against Millennium.
But that's the question now. Was it SK performing very well as that made the gap seem so strong? Or were they legitimately just playing better? And this is going to be a true test because they are going up against some of the most talented players in all of Europe. But look how slow teams are locking in champions. Really, really taking their time.
It tells me that the pick and bans may have threw a few of their options off. Ahri is locked in here. And I think that means they're going to try and put Jez's on the back foot. Ziggs is available. This is a possibility for him.
As a Zillion. If they wanted to go that route, Zillion revives. If you want to put Aatrox down, if you want to lock in the likes of something like Vayne or Tristana, as we've been talking about multiple times. So for Tabs, does he run Lucian? Does he feel confident in a mid-game power spike, or does he want to go hyper carry? Or does he want to go pick? I mean, there's a lot of options here for Tabs, and he's played all of those champions at varying stages this year.
So for supports, everything open. What will Nif go with? We've seen Nami coming into as the priority support, honestly. While Thresh, while Morgana is out there, a lot of people still go with Morgana, of course, alongside Twitch. It is going to be a Nami again. Yeah,
Alliance actually locking in their respective champions in order. So we've got a very heavy pick-focused team comp. Alistair will struggle a little bit in lane, but he will do very well later in the team fights. And if Alliance can land a charm or a bubble, Lee Sin, Twitch, and Ahri's damage can just focus that person down. And if you actually look at SK's squad, there's 3 very squishy targets there. Aatrox himself, while he's got a revive, he's not necessarily the most tanky champion in the game. So there's a lot of damage on Alliance's side. They've got the option to roam, play the map, play the pick game that I think we're going to anticipate from them. And I just think it's going to be very important for Alliance to get ahead in the early stages, because in terms of wave clear, Ziggs will be doing a better job than what Ahri can, thanks to the mines, thanks to the extended range.
And with Braum being selected, how strange that both teams have actually gone through top jungle.
I'd love to find out.
AD and support.
I don't remember this happening. Yeah. No, it really isn't. And it is just a buck from the norm, but it doesn't really make a massive difference. With the lock-in of Braum, the combination of the AoE from Ziggs as well as Aatrox, if Alliance ever are grouped up and Nif doesn't land a good tidal wave, I think SK Gaming have got a stronger team fight presence. The only thing they need to ensure is that they need to keep Ziggs and Tristana alive and at range. Because the moment Twitch, Uri, Lee, even Alistar single them out, I think those are going to be a bunch of dead squishies. So it is very important tonight.
I think we're rubbing off on the teams. I just saw Alliance fist bumping.
Why not? I read a fantastic study.
It's hygienic. I know.
You stole my word, D-Man.
We came up with that internally before they came out as a
well, it's scientifically
proven. I'll just tell you that, right? We're first on that one. So, have these champion picks made you want to swap your vote? Well, we'll see. Tweet us hashtag AllWin or hashtag SKWin, and we'll see if there are any changes as we head into the game. Big first match. We just saw previously, of course, Roccat coming out huge in game one, upsetting Fnatic massively. Can SK do the same?
I think it's going to be up to Alliance to try to determine this lane swap scenario. I feel like Aatrox should be able to bully Alistar in the early stages of the game, and I think that Tristana and Braum are going to need levels before they can duel Twitch and Nami. I think the harass and the poke from Twitch in conjunction with Nami's damage is going to be difficult to deal with. So whichever lane can get a stronger advantage may determine control in the mid game.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get game one underway, the second semi-finals. Fnatic, they have made it to the 2014 World Championships. Who will join them? Will it be Alliance or SK Gaming? And who will face Roccat tomorrow in that frightful third place playoff to see the final team selected? Alliance, big favorites coming into this matchup, up against SK Gaming, who themselves, well, they topped the season, remember, in the spring. They didn't win the final stage, they finished second overall. And Alliance stole that glory from them this time around and led all the way through the season at the top of the table. And Trevor, it looks like we are going to have a full 5-man late invade. Will they catch on to Nif?
Oh, we'll see. There's a bubble or a knockup potential, and we need to see what lands. Bubble's going out. Flash from Freddy. That's actually very important, because Shook now has a massive target on Freddy's back. We need to see if he can punish him. If Shook does the clear, gets double buffs and goes for the 3.5, 4-minute gank, maybe they can look to get Freddy's passive or similar.
Well, of course, does have that dive to get away. Dark Flight should be okay-ish. We'll see whether Shook does sit up there and try and babysit Wicked. He is, in the past, helped out Frog and Tabs heavily and left Wicked kind of on his own.
I really like what Alliance has done regarding their warding. They placed all the trinkets up along through the jungle, going to be looking for those lane setups, going to be looking for the ideal situation for them. It is somewhat mirrored by SK Gaming, though not quite as many wards. And I know I'm going to sound like a little bit of a broken record, but for SK Gaming, they have bought and placed the second lowest amount of wards out of all European teams. And the reason I highlight that in this particular game is how important I feel it's going to be to defend against Froggen and Tabs roaming, as well as Shook looking for ganks. If SK drop the ball and do not react appropriately with vision, Alliance have got a very good team composition to punish that. And Freddy with no flash is already very low on HP.
Well, Freddy, as you mentioned, low on HP. He's got also 2 members just below him. This could be a 4-man dive on towards him. Wicked and Shook taking the red buff. They're just around the side. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we do also have Svenskeren nearby, but looks like he's heading straight to his blue, so he's going to be going the traditional route. It's the top lane. I want to see whether they're going to go for this tower dive. And remember, if they do, so often we've seen with this tactic, people pile on towards that dragon. SK have the option to do that. We'll see whether Alliance react and whether they go for this kill. I
tell you what this reminds me of. This is like a Fnatic level 2 tower dive. We do see Freddy backing away. He's got no flash, remember. CC needs to land.
Oh, Aqua Prison does land. That's all they needed. Bloodwell will get popped here. Pulverize still yet to be used by Wicked. He's holding on to it, and he will get himself a kill with it.
That is massive. So Alliance get first blood. I think SK respond in a fantastic manner by punishing the positional and the numbers of Alliance's members in the top lane, going to grab themselves this dragon and probably even out that gold difference. What I'd like to see is how much damage Alliance have put in that top tower. It doesn't look like Shook or Wicked stuck around to punish it. Tabs is in fact trying to deny experiencing gold from his opponent's top laner. So trying to push Freddy even further behind.
So Dragon goes down. SK take that one to begin with, just 3.5 minutes into this game. Jesus and Froggen in this mid lane, Battle of the Danes. So not too much love lost between the two. I can assure you of that one. Froggen himself, captain of the All-Stars. Can he captain his actual team to the World Championships? Is why it was created. It was the whole reason, way back when, in October, that this all began.
I really like Alliance's thought process. I think they were anticipating Freddy was going to return to lane just to try CS, and Alliance were grouping up to potentially do a second tower dive, punish the fact that that flash was not available. But Freddy was one step ahead. Along with the rest of his team, they'd already initiated the lane swap, and Freddy teleported down. That's actually quite unusual for your top laner at the 4-minute mark. But Candy Panda and Rated, whether they feel confident in the 2v2 or whether they're just trying to keep Freddy alive, we'll see as this head-to-head plays out. But I really like the thought process and forward thinking from both of the teams.
So we haven't seen a great deal of involvement in the mid lane. They're both going back to buy, I believe. So this top lane focus. Candy Panda will get a couple of hits on there. It's just been a little bit safer. Tab's not going to go too aggressive. Good Aqua Prism from Nif, actually catching on Candy Panda. But he put some good damage on this tower early on.
Yeah, Nif has actually landed a lot of crucial Aqua Prisms this game already. The very first one burning the flash from Freddy and then obviously catching him later on. But if you look at the CS advantage, Tabs, that very big wave is pulling slightly ahead of Candy Panda. But because of the wave, they can't go aggressive.
You guys at home still strongly believing that Alliance will take victory here. They are, as we mentioned, the undisputed favourites in this one. 81%, big vote for them. Alliance fans getting behind them.
So in terms of the mid lane, I think until Jesus gets a little out of position, Froggen's not going to have a massive amount of kill pressure. Jesus can farm very safely. He's got the satchel charge, and as long as he doesn't eat that charm, he should be fine. And with the number of games Jesus has played, it'll work out very well in his favor.
So Svenskeren just passed a ward in the top area, which is why Shook is immediately heading down here. There is a ward, he's going to get spotted, but he's going straight for Freddy. Wicked not going to go too aggressive on this one. He stood right on top of that ward. Freddy well aware. Has got flashback available to him as well. Yeah,
we'll see if this can work out. Headbutt pulverizer works. Here comes Shook.
Flash pulverize. Didn't land the headbutt. And Freddy will not get away with that. And actually, I tell a lie. I think he did the combo and flashed. Yeah,
yes,
he did everything.
Yeah, headbutt, pulverize, flash, and Freddy was able to get away thanks to the Dark Flight himself. But I mean, Freddy's got so many games on Aatrox. He played 8 matches during the regular season, and he's got a lot of experience. But look at this. Freddy Shook's coming around for a second attempt. The pulverize caught him midair.
Oh, this is a problem. He's got no Dark Flight to get out. Flash is available, but where's he going to go with it? Remember, there's no also Bloodwell available. Freddy and also Trauma trying to use the minions, trying to get a lifesteal. Flashes away. Shook's got to land the Sonic Wave. He has to land it here. He's got the support. Svenskeren flashes in himself. Dodges out of the Dark Flight, and Freddy looks to have escaped.
Holy moly. Freddy managed to delay the fight for so long using the minions, darting in and out and sustaining, thanks to his bloodthirst, that he actually got his passive back mid-team fight. And that is why Alliance backed away. Shook thought he could pop it and maybe get the kill, but that's a flash down. Wicked and Shook expended both of their flashes trying to kill Freddy, and they need to be a little bit careful with positioning.
Yeah, crazy fight. Let's have a look at it again.
So the moment that little white bar, Aatrox went all inverted. Did like a barrel roll mid-air. But you'll see it turn from white to red, and that's instantly meaning that Freddy's got his passive available. But look, the two melee champions of Shook and Wicked, they can't get through the wall of minions. Why, minions, why? And Freddy did such a good job of using the tools around him to actually survive that gank. That was super cool. That's a big play for sure. Big
plays. Something we've been seeing all season long from these teams. We'll see how it progresses at the moment, Alliance. Well, they have the smallest of advantages. They are equal in gold, though. We'll see. This top lane, actually, is an interesting one. Tabs and Nif. Probably one that should be putting a little bit more pressure. Candy Panda's reacting, and we may well see an invade here. Shook going up, but the red buff already gone. They had a ward on it. Tabs managed to plant that one, so they had full vision. Shook is going to back away. Blue buff for Froggen.
So I'd like to expand on that thought of Tabs and Nif. I do feel that if they'd had the 2v2 earlier, that Twitch and Nami could have bullied Tristana and Braum, obviously because Braum is melee. But once Braum has his full complement of Spell Reel available to him at level 3, if Enrated gets a good combo where he can sort of dash to the minion, land the concussive blows, and start getting that stun down, all of a sudden the burst from Tristana is actually quite powerful in the early game. So that could be where the slower pace comes from. Both level 6, Freddy, he's used Massacre actually.
Yeah, he used his ultimate there. Dark Flight and ultimate. Wicked just walked away. Didn't pop his own. Unbreakable is still available. Scaring coming back around. This is going to be a tower dive. That's a risky tower dive on a cow that has his ultimate.
Yeah, we'll see if Freddy can bait it out. That's obviously going to be the go signal. For the time being, Sven has not really made an indication of tower dive. He's just counter jungling. And I do agree. I think this would be very, very risky. The fact that that Unbreakable Wall is still available, this is going to be difficult. Let's see if Sven and Freddy can pull it off. Freddy does have Bloodwell as well.
Well, he's going to have long enough to hold out. Cocoon doesn't land. Shook comes in there. He's going to get pulverized the second he lands. No, didn't go for it. Happy to just farm it out. Enrated, good block there, using his Unbreakable to stop the wave. And that will not catch on towards Candy Panda. Froggen goes aggressive, throws his orbs towards Jesus. Jesus is very low there, but Spirit Rush used by Froggen.
Yeah, I'm going to just try and get some lane control. It hasn't resulted in a kill yet. Look for the charm, if he can catch on to Sven. Sven, no Spiderlings!
Flash charm lands on towards him. He's going to get Shook coming in, but they're going to have to back away. They're in a 3v1. Oh, good catch there. Jez has managed to catch on towards him. The kick from Shook. He fancies following it. Jez is very low. Mega Inferno Bomb still available for him, and he will back away.
So close. If any of those skill shots had just been a hair to the left or right, that could have been another kill on the board. But Jez manages to get away. Svenskeren throws in support, but Summoner Spell's blown for both Svenskeren and Jez as Froggen without Flash, without Ignite. Even on CS as well. And Jez is continuing just to sort of keep control of that middle lane, thanks to the Mega Inferno Bomb. But SK holding even. 10 minutes in, they initiated a lane swap, they responded to Alliance's tower dive, and they're even on gold, thanks to that very smart Dragon play.
Yeah,
which is not something you can often say about SK.
Even across all lanes, which is potentially a problem for Alliance, because SK are always fantastic when they reach the late game. But then again, so are Alliance. These are both teams, and Froggen has said it to myself many times when he's been talking about fights. It's like, you always talk about, you know, how we're slow and how we get going. You never mention that all we're doing is just waiting to hit that one point, that one power spike, and then we turn and fight. Everybody goes aggressive.
Yeah, and we'll see if they've hit that point. Tabs looking for Freddy, and Freddy's just going to take a short flight out. The one thing Alliance have to be, I think the only massive concern for Alliance is how well Candy Panda is going to play the mid to late game. Because once Tristana hits that level 12, 13, 14, like starts getting to max range, she can really put a lot of hurt down. So Dragon's been up for a little while. SK have got better positioning for the moment. Tabs is away from the team. And remember, straight up 5v5s. If Alliance do not assassinate somebody very quickly, I think SK are going to have a better team fight comp for those scenarios.
Bilgewater Cut is still on cooldown, whereas Candy Panda has picked himself up a BF sword, which is why Alliance maybe going to try and delay it, hold out as long as they can and push in, but they're losing the bottom tower while it's still happening. Jezza's getting focused on by Wicked. He's trying to force him away. That means it's going to be the middle turret, it seems, for Alliance, while the bottom turret goes to SK.
Yeah, but Alliance will keep pushing. They've got the numbers advantage and they've got a minion wave. How quickly can Jezza's clear the wave? It should be fairly fast. He is a Ziggs at the end of the day. Traded one tower for one, and that's a teleport as well.
Shook's going to try and land it, so the charm goes in. Mega Inferno Bomb lands on top of them, but Jezza's will go down. The question is, will Freddy catch on towards them? It won't, but you know, while that's all happened, they got themselves a kill, yes. They got the inner turret, yes, but they lost the dragon and the bottom turret.
Yeah, net gain is in favor of SK, unless Alliance can take that top tower, which they actually will. And then they've got a very big minion wave to push with. That is actually a massive minion wave. They can keep playing. The question is, does SK want to race? They've got Tristana in the bottom lane. They've got a three-man stack in the middle lane. Who is going to call the bluff? Who is going to call chicken first? Alliance are not stopping. It's actually Alliance that are doing it.
Yeah, Wicked chose to defend the bottom turret instead. He's like realizing he cannot defend three members in that mid lane. He's going to go down and try and hold Candy Panda off that one. They're going to give up this outer turret, it seems. There's Wicked going in towards Candy Panda. He's just going to clear out the wave, trample across them. SK will pick up this mid lane, and a risky game for both these teams so far. Nobody wanting to blink there.
Overall, still net gain for SK. They get themselves 2 towers out the deal, but they also get a dragon. The cost of the dragon was Jez's life, but it means SK has got a small advantage. It is 1,000 gold. It's nothing to write home about at 13 minutes. But what is important to note is Alliance are making aggressive calls. We're going to push middle, we're going to push deep, push top. And SK have not blinked. They have committed to tower pushes. And they've not given up objectives without trading evenly at the very least. So smart calls from SK, and they're not panicking under the pressure, under the lights of Gamescom.
So Infinity Edge being built up by Candy Panda, not quite yet. Also, of course, Tab's going for that assassin build, trying to see if he can get his roaming on, get that Blade of the Rune King completed ASAP, and see if he can find some targets. Big wave clear, honestly, from both these teams as well. So that's not part of the game. Obviously, if you think back to the Roccat Fnatic game, that was a big part of the issue for Roccat in the end. But SK are maneuvering very well in this opening match.
Yeah, they really are. And I actually think with the accelerated tower kills that we've just had, I think this plays into SK's favor a little bit. If SK are almost forced to remain grouped and remain tightly knit as a unit, the power of Ziggs and Braum and Aatrox, if they get multi-man abilities, is like infinitely more effective. If the laning phase had been extended and been longer, it would have opened SK up to be picked off, you know, by the tower dives, by the roaming Ahri, by the roaming Twitch. So as long as SK do not get caught out of position, this could be potentially good for them. Froggen's looking like he's going DFG first. I mean, he really wants to just insta-give someone. And if he doesn't, I really like SK's chances in fights.
Well, Wicked is going towards the AP build, AP tanky build. Oh, Freddy popped his ulti actually on Wicked there. He's just going to use that to farm out the wave. Wicked happy to walk away. But yeah, Rod of Ages start for him, going the impact route. I think it's safe to say, we can call it that. And he started it off on the cow in the top lane, as opposed to Infinity Edge, Static Shiv, something like that in the top lane, Trinity Force.
Yeah, the Emperor Palpatine build, if you get that Static Shiv on there. The thing that I really like about the current state of the competitive scene, you see these champions in the same roles in different regions, against different compositions, and you have the option to build them differently. With Wicked going the Rod of Ages route, he may have slightly higher burst once he gets more AP. But look at the positioning on the map. Alliance are pushing middle lane. There is a response down to the bottom. So I think they've read the situation well, despite the fact that SK, I don't really think they gave up too much information through the jungle.
Yeah, they almost got caught out.
Froggen wants to come from behind.
We're waiting around. There's the wave. That's going to get blocked out by Enrated. Aqua Prison's flashed away from. That means the support's flash is down. Froggen comes around the side, spotted by the pink ward of SK. He's waiting deliberately. Going to get caught out with a cocoon. The charm lands on Svenska, and it's enough to get away. Enrated tries to slow them down in their tracks. Alliance will be stopped. And SK back away nicely. Good reactions from SK to get out of that situation as 5 members of Alliance tried to close in on there.
I'm going to go a step back and actually say that SK shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. Not 2 minutes ago did we just say the power of Alliance's composition is in those skirmishes, looking for picks. And Braum's ultimates saved their lives. Because of that Glacial Fissure, the rest of Alliance couldn't chase. Wicked didn't have flash, so he couldn't get the flash cowball stun set up. But SK were pushing with a 3-man. They only had 3 wards in the south of Alliance's jungle. So they didn't really know until it was too late that they were being collapsed upon. The vision game is lacking for SK. They need to step up the wards, especially if they want to push with a small contingent of players.
Of course, that all starts with Wicked heading down south. Rubber Ducky being used by Jez as clears out the raids, keeps that farm going, actually ahead of Froggen, but only because Froggen's been moving around the map. Speaking of moving, Wicked is backing towards the top lane. Use the teleport to get up there as well, so he's got himself that Rod of Ages now. We'll see where he builds next on this one, whether it be towards that Glacial Shroud, which I'm expecting. It's kind of the standard second build, I think it is for Alistair.
Yeah, I think that would kind of make sense if he went for the maybe Frozen Heart, but I don't know why my gut is saying maybe even the Glacial Fist, Iceborne Gauntlet rather.
Yeah.
Because there's not a massive amount of CC on the side of Alliance. Yes, they do have a charm, they do have a bubble, but if you can add some AoE slows from an Alistair that's going to be in the middle of a team fight, you know, he can help contain and help reduce the mobility of SK's comp, because they do have, you know, a lot of dashing and displacement spells. So we need to see what Wicked decides. And I mean, that could just be a sheen to Trinity Force if you wanted to.
So speaking of Wicked, he did teleport to that top lane, remember, and Dragon is now up. Freddy has his teleport. Wicked does not. Shook's going to get caught out. Oh, Cocoon dodged, sidestepped without even knowing him. Actually, there was a ward right on top of them, but I don't think he was quite planning on sidestepping. Let's keep your eye on Wicked. He is heading down here now. Froggen is ready and waiting, but there is good vision from SK around the Dragon Pit area.
Yeah, they have placed some wards down, but it's instantly cleared away. 3 sweepers on the side of Alliance, as well as some very good pink wards. If you look at the pink ward in the middle river and the SK red buff, those two have been there for several minutes already. Alliance has had a lot of good vision for a prolonged period of time. Freddy's still in the top lane, Froggen pushing the mid lane. SK Gaming have yet to start the Dragon, but now they're very, very close. And the bubble's caught Sven.
Sven's in trouble. He's going to repel away. There's the teleport. Freddy's not able to take down the top turret. Shook looking to try and land that kick. Catches 3 of them out. Sven Skeren was caught in that knockup. Mega Inferno Bomb coming out. Only going to catch on towards Nif and Wicked. He's happy to take that up. Shook taking a hell of a lot of damage. Froggen comes around the side. Lands the charm on towards Freddy. Good. Aqua Prison coming out. Freddy will catch on towards him. He gets the Bloodwell popped. Wicked picks up 1. Sorry. Froggen gets onto those the second. Jez is with the bouncy bombs though. Can he turn this one around? Will get charmed up. Going to continue chasing. Froggen dodges out of the cocoon, but Jez is continuing to catch on towards him. Another bouncy bomb lands. Will he be able to repel himself in there? No, he's going to get slowed down. But this will open up the Dragon for SK.
Yeah, we'll see if Alliance decides to re-engage. It's not over yet. That double bubble caused so much trouble for SK. And here comes another one. Jez has been knocked up.
Wicked in trouble. He goes down, and the Dragon picked up by SK. They are taking a lot from these fights, and Alliance, they were the one that engaged, and they were the one that was found wanting.
So the things that I want to highlight about the fight, Candy Panda was off on the side lane. So as Alliance were channeling in to the jungle through the river, Candy had a lot of free time to get auto attacks off. Then of course, when Froggen came in from the back line, Alliance was sort of quasi-retreating. They'd taken a lot more damage than they were anticipating, and Froggen wasn't able to really have the support he needed. So 2 things to note. Look at Candy Panda's positioning. He doesn't take a lot damage for a while, and as he keeps himself in a safe zone, continually smashing Shook, Shook's out of the fight. Now Froggen is coming in from the back line. Great bubble from Nif. I really, really like that play. But again, Candy Panda, that's the first time that you really feel, oh, he's at threat of going down. Unfortunately for Alliance, because they were in, out, in, out, in, out, they couldn't stick to a single target long enough. They couldn't assassinate anybody. And the assassin sort of pick comp versus an extended team fight comp, SK are always going to win that.
SK clever at sticking together. Dragon was picked up. Wicked came in eventually, remember. But it's always, I mean, a 4v1. Wicked going in. I'm not too sure what he was planning there.
Yeah, I wonder if there wasn't a little bit of miscommunication, because Nif did throw a bubble out. You know, if the bubble had caught somebody and they could stack those knockups together, maybe that would have gone better. But it really is, it's a weakness of Alliance's team comp. Straight up 5v5s, even in that disjointed, weird angle, they need to kill somebody quickly. And if they don't kill somebody quickly, SK's got a lot of tools, a lot of mobility, a lot of AoE that allows them to control Alliance. So SK maintain a lead in the game. They've extended the gold lead to 3,000.
Yeah, and it's a big lead that Freddy is actually gaining over Wicked. Once again, that Aatrox proving to be his #1 champion alongside Nidalee.
So we go back to pre-game. We talked about Freddy and Nidalee, how important it is. We talked about Wicked and how learning new champions, not really something you associate with him. Wicked's not the guy that you go, oh, he's going to pull out something super special. You know, that's more of Soaz's thing. And his AP cow thus far, not been particularly impressive. Previous engages, not really working out, but again, it is a champion that scales. It is a champion that wants to be in the thick of things. Let's see if he gets a couple more items, if it does turn the tide.
Shook's going to try and sneak down here again. We talked about lack of vision for SK. They've only got a singular ward. It's going to spot Shook. He's actually going to walk past it. He could have snuck around the back of them towards the tri-bush. Aqua Prison doesn't land. Nif takes a couple of hits there. Now Shook finally appears. Candy Panda quick to escape. While this is all happening, the pressure continuing to build in the top, in the bottom. Jez is having to use the Zhonya's there. The charm would have landed on Froggen there. Instead, simple bubble and backs off.
So look at SK. This is the second time that they've had Aatrox top, Jez's mid, and the other 3 bottom lane. But again, you highlighted the vision, the fact that SK were fairly overextended, and they did not really have the information, but they could see multiple champions. You know, they knew Wicked was dueling Freddy, they knew Froggen was dueling Jez's. Anyways, SK have grouped up in the middle lane. They don't have many minions to deal with. Kind of a weird situation to be in. Dragon's not up yet. They just couldn't get onto the bottom turret. Jez's is struggling against Froggen. So this could be support to buy some time for Jez's.
Yeah, it seems that he's being caught out there with his Zhonya's down. It's a risky situation for Jez to be in. When they do react, Mega Inferno Bomb used to clear the wave. So that will be down 3. short period of time while the two top laners continue to farm. Froggen is building up towards a death cap, I believe. But this bottom tower, they need to get this one down. It's causing them problems. This is where SK are happy to just keep pushing because they've got that safety net of this tower still standing.
Yeah, they do. And you know, something that you need to remember on the side of SK, despite the fact they've got a Ziggs and Tristana who are traditionally fantastic in tower sieges, they have to deal with the threat of a tidal wave. All right, we'll see if they can catch Jezz. We'll finish that point in a second. Knock up from Wicked. Can it land?
No. Flash trying to get on towards him. Not going to work out. And actually, a rubber ducky thrown out. Total blind onto Tabs there. Didn't know he was there. He was stealth up. But he caught him.
Managed to knock him away. And every time SK stick themselves in this 1-1-3 push or individual, there is the possibility of a pick happening. But again, just to finish the siege point, part of the reason I feel SK need to be wary or careful, if they do group up, if they do push down as a 5-man in a lane, where a tidal wave can land, where an Alistar can get a pulverize, that's going to buy time for Alliance to kill the targets that they want to kill. So I think that might be one of the primary reasons why they haven't just gone, look, we're going to 5v5 you straight up, despite the fact we've got a good teamfight team. They don't want to run the risk of going for a surf and then drowning.
Well, 1 minute on the Dragon, and currently Alliance was sitting on a lot of gold. That's why they're all backing off to buy those items, starting to stack them out. Death cap completed. Avarice Blade also going to get picked up. It seems Age of the Legion also completed by Shook. So, starting to acquire some of those big items. Trinity Force is going to be second item, by the way, for Wicked. So, Rod of Ages into Trinity Force. Trying to adapt the build and see how it works out for him.
I mean, that's basically like hybrid now, if you think about it. You've got ability power, you've got HP, you've got attack damage, you're going to get crit chance eventually. So Wicked's going to be sort of a jack of all trades, master of none necessarily. He's still behind in CS to Freddy. And with a death cap as well as DFG, with a near Ghost Blade on Tabs, Alliance have hit that power spike where I feel they need to, or they can challenge more frequently. We'll see if they agree. Dragon's up in a couple of seconds, and we find ourselves in a similar scenario. Top laners, both with teleport available, and a 4v4 in the mid to river. SK haven't started the objective or moved towards it yet.
Vision protection. Jezz is actually forced to jump away. His flash is still down, remember, if this fight were to go off. The Spirit Rush being used by Froggen does not do a great deal with it, so that ultimate's not available. Charm doesn't land either. That's on the cooldown now. And Alliance not landing their skill shots. They're going to have to step away.
No, and the longer the extended siege goes off, the poke from Ziggs is just going to whittle away on Alliance. Alliance don't have that same level of ranged poke. So SK have started Dragon. Braum ultimate is available. There's no ultimate from Froggen. Keep that in mind. Wicked has to get a good initiation here if Alliance want to do well.
Tabs' Rat-a-tat-tat is down. He's not been able to use it here. Alliance have to back out of this fight. They should not have taken it in the first place. And SK Gaming could come out very big here. Freddy gets on one, takes down Nif, jumps on towards it. Bloodwell's still available, remember. Tabs is going to try and sneak away from this one. Froggen gets picked off. Candy Panda takes him down. And Alliance ultimates were not available in that fight. They should not have taken the risk.
No, they did not want to look for the 5v5. They didn't want to deal with the ranged poke. And on top of that, Wicked actually helped Freddy by headbutting him over the wall so he could keep auto-attacking. SK have set themselves up a death bush. If Alliance go to peak Baron, this could cause trouble. Candy Panda's going to play bait. Oh, he's actually playing a lot of bait. Here comes SK.
He's going to try and catch on towards them. Now we'll get the slow on towards Wicked. He's in trouble. Ultimate not available. Froggen's going to get going. Can he get the burst? He gets Candy Panda down. Wicked goes in. 3-man pulverized. But there's not a lot of follow-up. Wicked's going to go down. He's going to be the sacrificial cow. Instead, Alliance now back with Tabs. Rat-a-tat-tat is back available.
That's actually very, very good for Alliance. Not only because they got another kill for Froggen, but because they prevented Baron going down. And, at the replay at Dragon, Wicked, he just doesn't get an opportunity. And Rated is zoning him, is sort of gets the stun down thanks to the help of Candy Panda. And of course, because Alistar can't be in the front line, Alliance are in full retreat. Froggen's got no Spirit Rush. Here's the knock over the wall from Freddy. And you've also got Shook on the sidelines. He's trying to play Dragon Stealer, which I guess is a decent attempt. But if the rest of your team is trying to fight, you need to be with your team. Because Alliance don't have that massive team fight power. They need the knock away from Shook's Lee Sin. SK grow the lead even more, and I think they're handling their team comp and their opponents very, very well.
Yeah, they managed to, get something out of nothing there with Candy Panda being killed for Alliance, honestly. That was a little bit lucky of them, because if they'd have come out behind in that fight, absolutely could have been a Baron. for SK, or even worse, maybe they've just pushed down, taken an in, but who knows, that middle run was building their way. So Alliance, risky situations. Jesus himself has flashback available to him, and that is big because he has been focused a number of times. Froggen catching on towards him. Flash is not up for Candy Panda, so he's going to be careful. Froggen will be looking to assassinate him.
So despite the fact that Jesus, yes, has been sort of punished and playing on the back foot, he's not behind in CS. He's only given up 1 death. So yes, he's been playing defensively, but you know, all credit, got his Hourglass completed, got that Athenes. He's got the wave clear, and he's defended the inner turrets in the middle lane. Alliance have yet to take the outer turret in the bottom lane, while SK have yet to take the outer turret in the top lane. It has all been about these dragons for SK Gaming, and Alliance still looking for that power spike that says, now we can go in.
Well, SK have got themselves positional advantage to try and push on this turret. Don't think they're going to be able to follow through. Wicked in this top lane, all on his own at the moment. Cocoon sidesteps on Skeren. Sonic Wave catches on Jez's, Aqua Prison not landing. Skill shots all going wide so far. Alliance looking to chase, but again, finding nothing. Wicked and Freddy, just going at it in this top lane. Triforce was complete, but then again, Spirit Visage and Play the Rune King. Play the Rune King was used, by the way, in that last engage, so I think we'll see Freddy probably backing off soon.
As with both of their ultimates, Freddy and Wicked really went toe-to-toe. It does look like Wicked's doing a better job of fighting Freddy, though, so we'll keep an eye on how that transpires. But now SK feel confident. They've grouped themselves up. Tidal Wave is available for Nif, but I think without the front line of Alistar, maybe that's why SK are playing Brave. It's taken them 30 minutes to even consider a siege. And the wave clear from Alliance is still solid enough, and they couldn't even get any auto attacks on the turrets.
I think the worry for SK is, while they are doing good, their groups right now, you've got to feel that at some point in the game, Tabs or Froggen is going to pick off either Jesus or Candy Panda. They're going to find that kill, that one pick that they've been searching for. One of those skill shots will land, and that is when SK may well find themselves in trouble. They're going to take this top turret, they're going to go 3-2 up, and that's going to continue their gold lead. It is a 5,000 gold lead. That is not too bad, honestly, this early on, because SK are predominantly the team to fall behind, but 30 minutes in, they're looking strong.
Yep, much like the quarterfinals.
Oh, here we go.
It's not domination, but we do see SK out of position.
Backing away.
Alliance couldn't respond quickly enough. You know, the thing is, SK have actually got all of the tools to avoid giving up those kills. I do agree with you that yes, Alliance, if they land the skill shots, if they land the bubble or the charm, or Tab surprises somebody with that ambush, they can just instantly kill someone. But Svenskeren can repel. There's a satchel charge from Jez. There's rocket jump from Candy Panda. Enrated, if there's minions or teammates around, he can jump to them. Freddy can move as well. So it's a single target spell on the side of Alliance. And unless they all fire of it fairly simultaneously, you actually think SK have tools to deal with it. The question is, who's going to make the bigger mistake? Is SK going to fail to dodge the skill shot? Is Alliance going to overcommit to looking for the kills? And as it stands, Alliance have already overcommitted once, after that previous Dragon fight.
It's funny, you look at Alistar and you think, well, it's pretty similar to Malphite, and sure as hell Wicked used to enjoy playing that one as well. So it's a champion that, I guess, fits him well, which is why he's moved on towards it. We'll see whether he sticks to it. Blue Wolf picked up by Jesus, and now SK looking to make a play. 30 seconds until that Dragon is shook. May well be captured here. Cocoon dodged out of, had to quickly ward and safeguard away to avoid the damage.
Once again, warding, very lax, I think, from both of these teams. If you compare that to the Fnatic Roccat series from earlier, there were so many more wards at the 32-minute mark. The game is a lot slower paced, I would say, though, because there is only 2 towers to 3. But Dragon is up once more. Alliance have decided they're in the mood to fight once again. They have their ultimates, and Wicked is stronger with Trinity Force and the Chain Vest. But again, in order for Alliance to win, they have to kill somebody instantly. If they do not kill a threat, SK can win yet another team fight. Dragon's going down, and I think they're going to start this very, very soon, D-Man.
Well, I think Alliance is going to be too slow to engage. Instead, they're going to try and turn it around. There's the ultimate pop from Wicked. Will he land anything? Charm goes on towards Enrated. Mega Inferno Bomb was fired off, but Grain. Not a great deal of damage from Alliance. The head put Freddy away, but he lands on Shook and tries to turn him down with some more basic attacks. Everybody backing out. Good damage coming out from Froggen now. But again, Alliance being poked from range, and SK happy to kite them. They're going to back away from this one, it seems. Oh, Nif almost taken down. They return back to the Dragon. Tricky stuff for SK here.
Alliance did back away, but it's not over yet. SK still looking for blood.
And rated very low this time around. I'm not too sure he's going to be able to guard anymore. Wicked actually went back and teleported back into the fight. He comes around. He's poking off there. Catch on towards Svenskeren. He manages to land the smite on towards it. And now Wicked in trouble. He needs the assistance of his teammates, but he's not going to get it. He will go down. Freddy gets himself a kill. And it's another win for SK. Candy Panda not done yet. Flash engage on towards Shook. Has to jump towards Nif and gets away safely. But again, a dragon and a kill. SK continue their gold lead.
A dragon, a kill, and they get Wicked's teleport as well as rough idea on his timing. The one thing that did happen, Alliance minions did take down that bottom tower, so Alliance actually, playing the map fairly well in terms of minion wave management. But SK are just showing once again that front line of Freddy and Braum is so tanky and they provide so much CC. The damage dealers of Alliance cannot get to the back line. They cannot catch Sven, Jesus, or Candy Panda. And as that fight progressed, Alliance did a very good job of kiting backwards. They pulled SK towards them, put a lot of damage down on SK. But once again, the mobility and the range of SK just simply outfought them in the team fight. So they got the dragon. They managed to continue to maintain control. And that kill that we were talking about that Alliance is looking for, they've yet to find it cleanly.
Yeah, 10 rated, doing a great job of just blocking his face checking in front of that charm every time he comes out from Frog, and happy to stand in the way and block all of the damage. And probably quite frustrating. It may well even force a ban, who knows, in towards the next match. Braum has been banned many, many times before. So SK grouping up, and now can they begin to start the bait for Baron? Frog and actually get spotted. There is a ward there. It will get swept and cleared. Almost walked into 4 members of SK.
I think SK have stepped up their vision game in the last few minutes. They do have more wards in the entry to their jungles, which is quite smart. It's going to reduce the risk of being caught out. Oh, Candy's in trouble.
Oh, Candy is in very much trouble. He's going to use the buster shot. Oh, it's not going to get away, though. Tabs does manage to pick him off. Can they do anything with it? That is the big AD carry going down. They're going to try and push the mid turret.
Now look at the rest of SK. Freddy is pushing the top lane. Alliance have remained themselves group in the middle. Tidal wave for dispersion, but Alliance had to invest a lot to get that kill. How many objectives can they secure?
N-rated caught out. Aqua Prison, there's the Mega Inferno bomb, and the tower goes down. But Freddy, as you mentioned, taking the pop turret instead. That's going to be Wicked going down. And this is all turning around against them. Shook tries to get away. Flashes out of there. He runs for Froggen, but Freddy is still pushing. They're going to pursue all the way to base.
They trade 1 kill for 1 as well as tower for tower, but Freddy, he's got the Massacre down and he's going to take an inhibitor turret. The rest of SK are continuing the siege. They're going to barrel down that middle lane. SK, once again, with a better decision making. Alliance had to invest everything into just killing Candy Panda. Spirit Rush, Flash, Ignite from Tabs as well as Froggen. And yes, they did kill him and get a tower, but then Wicked and Shook, they're reading from a completely different playbook from the rest of the Alliance squad. They go for some form of tower dive, give up another kill, and lose the inner and inhibitor turret in the top lane.
Oh, Jason's caught out. The charm lands. Zhonya's hourglass used. Everybody rushes to his rescue. Tabs is going to try and catch on. There's the flash going down. Spirit Rush, just one last shot available. Will catch on towards him. Svenskeren is going to repel. Has to get away from that one. He will get away safely. Froggen once again gets the kill, but nothing can be taken from this for Alliance.
No, they can't. They don't have the forces really to deal with this, and they do have Wicked alive. Teleport will be up in a few seconds. Froggen has gone into full carry mode. The last few kills have been completely solo, almost to the disregard of his team. Svenskeren is alive. He's running from base. The rest of SK are there. There is a knockup from Freddy. There's no Glacial Fissure from Braum. Keep that in mind. This is going to be very, very risky if Alliance stick around.
Combo didn't land from Wicked. Instead just headbutts Freddy away. Freddy Dark Flight on towards Froggen. Froggen taken so low from this one. Can he get away? Aqua Prison was good from Nif. It will be enough to stop him. The Dark Passage is not going to be available to him. Freddy's going to get caught out. Will go down. But have they got the damage? Freddy putting so much back on towards him. N-rated running for his life at the moment. SK trailing back on there, but Jetters will be back in 2 seconds, and Alliance, again, simply gets a kill for nothing.
The moment Alliance get a kill, that is when their comp has the advantage. They can single out targets, but it takes a very long time to kill Freddy. If you notice the amount of focus all of Alliance members had to put on just to get Freddy down, Candy Panda was in range to get some auto attacks, but the risk of the rest of the team jumping on him means he has to play so defensively. He didn't have that zone control and bouncing bombs from Ziggs. So Candy's in a lot more threat. I think Alliance, they managed to get a kill, but it hasn't really swung the gold. SK still have a 6K gold lead, and if SK continue to go back to the previous style of play, they can maintain control and grasp of the game.
I think a few choice words maybe coming out of Tabs in that last fight, as well as Wicked decided to headbutt N-rated. So when a Brahms headbutted on towards you and can basic attack stun you, I don't think that's really what you want as an AD carry. Some of those headbutts have been questionable. At
least twice this game, we've seen Wicked's headbutts to the detriment of his team. Right, Death Bush is up. Freddy's not with the team, but he does have teleport. Look at the Alliance vision in the jungle of SK. If any SK members come through there, they can see it clearly.
Tabs is making it blatantly obvious as he stood around the back there on top of a ward. The rest of Alliance hanging around. SK ready and waiting to engage it. They're looking to go. And Rated, will he be the man that goes in the front there? They're just trying to poke them off. Jesus throwing those bouncing bombs out. Minion wave has been cleared, and SK could just shove this straight for the inner turret.
SK's minion wave should push towards Alliance in the bottom lane. Alliance's minion wave should push towards SK in the top lane. But Alliance, they're looking for a fight. Alliance are trying to pull SK towards them. This is actually quite smart. If Alliance can make SK in and out, in and out, in and out, the moment an opportunity presents itself for a charm or a bubble, Alliance have to seize it. If they hesitate and allow SK to engage, they are the ones that will be on the losing end of another team fight.
But while everything is delayed, Candy Panda goes away and solos down the Dragon, which is going to give the rest of SK another gold advantage, continuing their gold march. That will go down soon. Candy Panda will clear that one out, and every single Dragon is going the way of SK so far. You really are doing a great job of controlling the objectives.
SK are very, very lucky. They don't have many wards on the map, but Tabs was stood right on top of a ward a few moments ago. So that was a safe Dragon. They knew that Tabs was still around because they had a ward in the bush just there that has been cleared out, and one to the left. And again, smart play. SK called Alliance's bluff. They had the information to work with, but SK really needs to step up their warding game. If Alliance had been in a different location, it would have forced SK to do something much riskier.
So Minions taking down the inner turret in the top lane for Alliance. That squares things up, 5-5 apiece. But of course the 6-for-6 Dragons that SK have is giving them a big advantage. Candy Panda caught down once again here. Tabs goes deep on this one. Freddy, no blood well this time around. It will get taken down. The big tanky top laner is down. That's a big problem for SK. Spirit Rush comes out. Froggen goes for it. It's N-rated. They will tank up all of the damage, blocking everything the Alliance could throw at them. Wicked still not with them. This is still a 4-for-4 in the mid lane.
But he's got teleports available. N-rated is still feeling confident. The Glacial Fissure is up. If SK can kite backwards with the Braum ulti and the minefield from Jezz's, they may be able to do something. Oh, but another Chomp catches N-rated.
This time around, I'm not sure he can block all the damage. He's going to do what he can. But again, manages to step away, and N-rated is gone home scot-free. Remember, there's still no ultimate for Tabs, no ultimate for Froggen. They really want to try and start something off, but I don't think they want to risk it. They're so scared of that Mega Inferno Bomb and Svenska repelling in there.
Yeah, and you have to highlight the fact Candy Panda used his Buster Shot a moment or two ago. I think Wicked jumped onto him. So there's that knockaway that's not available. SK have to stick around at the risk of losing Baron, but they've lost a lot of HP. Sven's got no mana, and Froggen wants to blow someone up.
Charm lands on towards Svenska, and he takes the burst damage. N-rated tries to block it. There's the teleport. Freddy back in there. He's going to dark fight in, but the Baron's already been picked up. Mega Inferno Bomb. They've taken so low. Svenska is going to lock on towards him. He will drop down. Froggen turns around, pops on towards the next one. Dark Flight comes out of Freddy, locks on towards Froggen, takes a lot of the damage down. Finds Svenska back, gives himself the double. Candy Panda's going to pursue, he wants to look on towards him. Shook has to jump away. Jezus is following through, but Froggen, he's going to get away very, very low. Or is he?
I don't think he will. They're chasing his minion wave.
Another jump. Tab steps down. Candy Panda stealth his way down there. Froggen blocked up with the might. Still alive. Gets the charm down. Freddy in trouble. In comes Shook. That's the safeguard. Freddy will finally drop down. Tabs comes in now. He's chasing on towards him. Bloodwell back up. Freddy's going to come around here. Can Jesus manage to live here? Zonya's hourglass. I don't think he gives a sky. He will put the mines down. One more shot. Tabs gets on towards him. The Baron was picked up over all of that. Kills going back and forward. What a crazy game this is turning into.
Alliance need to keep Tabs alive, and the reason that Alliance won this engage is because it turned into a multitude of skirmishes. Every single member of SK was going in drips and drabs. That's a 3 versus 2. Now all of a sudden, Froggen gets away, picks up a kill, and you know, the moment SK begin dispersing and being pulled apart, they are at risk of being picked off. SK needed their full complement of players. They didn't have them available. Tabs is just going to blow Candy Panda up. I mean, that's 3 auto attacks, I think that was, with spray and pray down. And it's just cleanup duty. So Tabs has got the damage. when Alliance find the opportunity that works for them, that's when they can win the fights. SK have been, I think they've been like strung out, because as this game has progressed, they're making positional mistakes, they're getting pulled apart, and that's when Alliance is winning.
So, Alliance hanging on, skirmishing the way through, now with the Baron. Only on 2 members, I feel. I think it's only on Tabs and Shook that are all remaining. Will they do anything with it? Remember, still both 5 towers apiece, and still 5,000 gold to the good for SK Gaming. Blue bomb. It's going to get picked up by Froggen.
Eventually.
Eventually, waiting for his cooldown.
I think for Alliance, every time they've actually picked the fight, they've had minions in their favor. I mean, the minions took that top inner turret during the course of that sort of build-up to Baron. Earlier in the game, during a dragon fight, Alliance minions took a tower in the bottom lane. Look at the very big minion wave that's building up in the bottom lane, and all of a sudden, Alliance are playing aggressive. All of a sudden, Alliance are moving through SK's jungle, which, by the way, has 0 SK wards, 2 of them on the blue side, but they don't have a lot of information to work with.
Well, it's a 1-4 split push. You can see the middle being pressured by Alliance. The top wave will also push, I think, in Alliance's favor, looks like it. And Alliance holding on. But there's a Ziggs on SK's team. That is always a tricky thing to push against. You can split push all you like, but that Mega Inferno Bomb will wipe out the wave. Good catch on Froggen. Delays some damage on there, but the rest of Alliance will rotate round again. Minions cleared out very easily by SK. Wicked's going to have to tank this up if he wants to take some hits on that tower.
Yeah, he's got a lot of armor, though, thanks to the Frozen Heart, and I also like the fact that he's gone for the Captain Boots. Captain Boots are so good in both aggressive and defensive play. If Wicked is retreating and he's in front of his team, he increases their retreat speed. And obviously, the same is on the reverse. If he goes for the tower dive, it allows Alliance to be mobile. I mean, Froggen picked up Paralyzed Crystal Scepter as his 3rd item. If he gets some magic damage on a target, it's going to slow them. And it just keeps playing into this style that Alliance want to do. They want to find the single targets and solo them out. For SK to... I actually think for SK to regain control of the game, they need to force Alliance to group and then just out-team fight them. They've done it a bunch of times. Now the risks are a little greater because Alliance have a much higher item threshold and a lot more, you know, combat statistics.
Yeah, I feel a lot of it will be to do with Candy Panda or Tabs. And remember, Candy Panda now almost at max range on that Tristana. We've seen Tristana's going huge all tournament long. Also in the international wildcard, Holy Phoenix playing incredible Tristana. Very aggressive at that as well. SK, still no Bloodwell backup for Freddy. That's coming up soon. But of course, Guardian Angels was completed by him, so he's got himself a 2nd life now because the Bloodwell has just kicked in.
Dragons up once more. We see the same Dragon setup. And Alliance, they're much more aggressive in looking for picks. You see Tabs there throwing down the ambush. You almost felt that Shook wanted to follow that Sonic wave onto Freddy. But with a GA and a Bloodwell and Horandian's Omen, it's going to be very difficult. Alliance, for the first time in a very long time, have got better positioning to start Dragon, but they've caught in Rated.
And Rated takes a lot of damage before he's able to get that Unbreakable down, finally responds with it. Top wave is pushing in Alliance's favor. SK gonna have to deal with something here. They're going towards it. Dragon being picked up by Alliance. Bloodwell is still available for Freddy, but he's gonna get singled out here. Wicked finally gets his ultimate off, and SK, they are focusing on him. Goes in, pulverizes, headbutts, and Rated into his team. Freddy's Bloodwell goes down. Guardian Angels actually, sorry, he's gonna get popped. Aqua Prison too soon. Froggen now goes on towards him. There's a 2nd death on towards him. He's going to get focused. Shook trying to do what he can in amongst the team, but he gets picked off. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of SK, but the Dragon went to Alliance.
It's so difficult. Freddy's front line, despite the fact that his GA and his Bloodwell was popped, that was technically a 2-for-4 if you count those 2 deaths in there. 2-for-3 rather if you count his 2 deaths. But SK Gaming out-team fought. They didn't even get the Glacial Fissure from Enrated down. Good charm, but I'm not sure if they've got the damage to kill. Tristana's on the tower, and SK again extending their lead. They win the team fight. They're going to get another tower.
That's the inhibitor tower. That's the one they wanted, and Freddy was the one that was the single target. Tabs tried to jump on towards him. Froggen and Nif doing what they could on that jungler, but they weren't able to do it.
I'm just going to go back to what we said earlier. In order for SK to regain control, force Alliance to group and then punish them when they're grouped. And that's exactly what Alliance did. I think what SK did, I think Alliance actually team fought very well. Tabs was able to get that GA from Freddy almost exclusively before the fight had even broken out. And Enrated was so stun-locked and CC'd, he never got his ultimate off. But look at Candy Panda and Jezz's. They are on the back line. They hadn't been touched until after a GA and a Bloodwell had been popped from Freddy, and Wicked had been killed. Candypan and Jezzes are still untouched. The team fight protection from SK is worlds better than Alliance's.
Alliance, they keep trying to find those targets. Baron up in 10 seconds time. Alliance gonna have to protect their ping wards. SK are moving in, and they're gonna sweep out everything in there. So gonna be a 2 for 2 in and around there. N-Rated and Svenskeren alongside Shook. Shook will land that Sonic Wave, but the ping wards are gone. Investment cleared out. And that means Wicked, who was pushing that bottom wave, is making his way straight up here. Teleport is available, but see if he can try and sneak something out of that bush.
So again, vision lacking for both of these teams. Not a massive amount of wards. We did see SK throwing down a huge number around Baron. Tabs with GA playing more aggressively, but he did have the support of his whole team behind him. So I think we're going to start the Baron dance, team, man. Cue the tango music. Get your boogie shoes on. Or your wellies. I mean, it is in the river after all. And we'll see which team calls chicken. If Alliance goes toe-to-toe 5v5 with SK, surely by now they've learned they're losing the team fights. So I'd like to see Alliance maybe flank. I'd like to see Wicked maybe come from behind if he can. Do something a little different to split up and string out SK. That's how Alliance can win a fight.
Well, they got to clear the wards out to start with. That's what the Burigi begins with. Shook trying to blow out that Banshee's Veil of Jezzes, which is going to protect him from the charms, and he knows that he is
SK
the
are
target.
split.
Trying to split them. N-Rated not with them for once this time around. Candy Panda leaps back in, and they have to back away. Alliance continue to gain vision, but remember, that inhibitor is wide open in the mid lane. SK could easily just turn and run straight for their base.
It is. SK, Alliance needs to get more wards, and then again, they need to use the vision to surround SK Gaming. If SK decide to peel for inhib, it almost guarantees a team fight. And if I were them, I would say go for it. They've won so many of the fights, but it's not going to be the case because Alliance has forced him to go for Baron. Sven's eaten the charm.
Sven's taking a lot of damage. N-Rated also caught out by the Aqua Prism. Alliance tried to quickly solo out. Nif pops the wave, catches onto 3-4 members of SK. Now they're going to run it. Charm lands on towards it. It's N-Rated again. He will get burst down. Mega Inferno Bomb lands. Freddy wants to get involved, but again, no Bloodwell, no Guardian Angels available for him. While Froggen, he's got his GA up now. He's going to run in towards it. It's a 1 for 0. Lot of spells burned by both sides.
And that was the power of Tidal Wave. The moment SK do group, if multi... Oh, they've got Sven!
Oh, Sven's caught out on the Charm. The Aqua Prism didn't follow up, actually. The Charm didn't quite read it. And Wicked does pop his ultimate this time. He's going to step away. Froggen wants to keep fighting.
Gonna be able to survive, but there's minions pushing onto that inhibitor turret. Look at the minions for Alliance in both top and bottom lane. Whenever Alliance go for objectives, they're doing such a good job of using the map to their advantage. SK cannot go to commit to Baron without losing a lot of hit points on their respective towers. But during the course of the team fight, ooh, Nif won that, or Nif made that setup possible by catching 3 members of SK. N-Ranger tried to flash away from the tidal wave and still got knocked up. But SK, whenever they're playing defensive, whenever they're peeling and they're on the back foot, Alliance seem to be doing a good job. So Baron started once more. SK once again splits up. Bloodwell is available.
Oh, Freddy. Bloodwell just comes off cooldown, as you mentioned. Has the Dark Flight out of there. There's a way pushing in the top lane. Alliance start the Baron off once again. Froggen on defensive duties. Candy Panda trying to leap around the side. Repel used. That's on a big cooldown now for Svenskeren. He's going to have to flash in if he wants to go for this one. Smite is available between the two of them. Who will win the Smite fight? Will they manage to catch on towards there? No, they won't. Shook gets it down. Wicked goes in, runs interference. He's just blocking them off, flashes out. Alliance take Baron.
Now we'll see who gets up. Candy Panda is caught out. This is massive advantage for Alliance.
Panda down. The AD carry is a big, big target. N-Rated pops a great ultimate, actually slowing down 4-5 members of Alliance. But they're going to keep on chasing. Manages to get the Unbreakable down, but Alliance, will they keep pushing? Wicked desperately. Crowd controlled so slow, it's going to be painful for him. But they're going to move for the inhibitor.
SK Gaming completely messed up that Baron by once again splitting up. They did not need to do that. Jezzes and Candy Panda were in the river. Now, without an AD carry, Alliance, they're on the turrets.
Svenskeren repels. He's got nowhere to land this time around. Will they catch him out as he lands? Oh, the damage not quite enough. Wicked goes in, gets a pulverized. Kick goes onto Freddy. Back into the team, but he's got everything back available to him. Dark Flight, way, the inhibitor turret will go down. Now they're falling towards the inhibitor. So the first inhibitor of the game will eventually go down to Alliance, despite SK being the one that opened the base. Can they tank this out?
They can. There's so much armor on Wicked. It's actually Shook. It's tanking it at this time round. 5 versus 4. And SK, they've initiated.
They're piling on. Froggen's the focus. He's got a GA. He's going to come back out of that one. Spirit rushes away. Throws out the damage. Jessus is the focus. Charm does not quite land on towards him. Foxfire will get in towards him. Flashes onto Jessus. Jessus gets the Zhonya's hourglass. Froggen needs the defense of his team. The inhibitor turret goes down. They're going to catch on towards him. Froggen's still alive. Jumping in away. It's going to be N-rated going down. Freddy will get focused. Jess is getting poked down. Freddy pops back up. Can he get out of this one? Froggen's going to finally get picked off. SK trying to turn it back on his head. They've got the damage, and Alliance will back away.
Candy.
He's going to try and jump on towards him. The inhibitor is going to be focused on Candy Panda jumping away from this one. Jess is in trouble. There is minions pushing up the midway. There is minions coming along the top. Alliance, they have the advantage now in their hands. They will step off to base. They've got gigantic amounts of gold. 3K plus on many people.
Everybody died, but everybody had a revive. So they just drop under the tower on this very aggressive tower dive. Alliance, realizing they had a 5 versus 4, means that they can continue to just focus the targets of SK appropriately. Froggen went so hard onto Jessus. He dove way deep, but he managed to zone him away, force him away while the rest of Alliance was focusing down the tower, and obviously the remaining SK Gaming members. Very good usage of the Baron buff and the mispositioning mistake from Candy Panda in the Baron, in the river. And that's meant Alliance has completely turned this game on its head, and now they are the ones dictating the tempo.
So, gold advantage finally in Alliance's favor. 8-7 in turrets. Let's not forget, Alliance's base is still wide open. If they lose one big fight, SK can run down and finish this game. We're at the 55-minute mark. Still, either team can take this.
Yeah, and as long as Alliance are patient, they can reduce that risk. Wait for those super minions to get into SK's base, and then it's them determining when the fights happen. It's them determining the tempo of the game. But for Alliance, they're finally going to grab the dragon. Second one of the game, of 8. They really have not had any control, any real presence around the pit. Ooh. SK, they're pulling a Fnatic. Deathbush is set up. Can they kill Alliance? They're going in.
They're going in, but Wicked's the target. Pops his ultimate straight away. The wave comes out from Nip, and that's a quick disengage. And now Alliance, they can turn this fight on his head. N-rated, caught off the side, taking all of the damage. Shook goes in. They want to finish him off. The support goes down. There's super minions pushing along the top wave. They're onto the Nexus turret as Alliance pursue on towards SK, simply delaying them. That's one Nexus turret down. Alliance will follow on through. They've got a minion wave going on towards the inhibitor. They're going to get the damage down towards it. Sven's going to go out. Charmed out there. Wicked pouncing on towards him. Pulverized to the ground and mashed up under the feet of Froggen as the inhibitor drops the final one. Nexus turret number 2 will fall. Freddy trying to catch on towards them, and the Nexus is exposed. Alliance will take game 1 from SK Gaming, but by God, they have to fight hard for it.
After a 56-minute epic, Alliance turned the game around and punished SK. SK did not make many mistakes, but the few they did were massive. The few they did, Alliance completely punished, took control of the game. And Tabs went unkilled. 10-0.